Hey, one MC, we back. Hey, we actually on time today. No more CPT. You know what I'm saying? I got my boy Dougie on, so we had to make sure we on time. You know what I'm saying? Them VI boys don't like that tardiness shit, so we had to come on proper like zero. About to say 09. That's Japan time, but 2000.
2000. Yeah.
2000 on the dot. We locked in. But welcome back, shipmates. Even those that ain't never been on no ship. My boy Dougie been on one, so I can actually call him a
Mhm.
shipmate. You feel me? Today, our special guest is a good friend of mine. Served on our first ship together when we was nothings, just learning our way about the Navy. And he's got his own podcast, the same different podcast, which he invited me on last week. Much appreciation to that. So we decided to do the collab and spin the block so he can hop on the one MC as well. But hey, John, man, introduce yourself to the people, man. Let them know where you're from and about your podcast.
Yo, what's up? What's up? My name Jah. I am the host of the Same Difference podcast. It's a Virgin Islands based, U.S. Virgin Islands based podcast. That's the main focus. But we also touch on, Virgin Islanders abroad, and if there's other topics that stateside want to talk about, that's cool. But basically, the podcast is to spotlight Virgin Islanders doing their thing in business, art, music, just life, just successful Virgin Islanders that really don't get the shine that they should. I wanted to create a platform for them, and maybe this thing will go national, international, global, because I don't like, not many people know about the Virgin Islands for real, even now. You know, they hear the accent and all they think of is
Yeah.
Jamaica or Haiti or Trinidad. So we try and put
Yeah.
ourselves on the map right now.
Hey, man, how many times have you been called Winston or somebody has referenced how Stella got her groove back to you, man? How often does that happen to you, man?
Back in the days, it was rough. I remember, it was a culture shock for me because I was born and raised VI. And then when I joined at 17. So I really didn't know the States like that. And then I get the questions like, hey, do y'all just live in trees, man? Do y'all wear grass skirts and all that craziness? And I'm like, no, I watch 106 on Park. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah,
It's America's, man. We're a little different, man. We think the world starts and ends with us. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
you
Exactly.
gotta
It's
expect
true.
that. Yeah, I mean, 100%. Yeah, but hey, let's get right into it though, man. Let's talk about your upbringing in the VI. How was your
Okay.
upbringing in the VI in your family life out there?
First, I do want to say that we need to understand that as a diaspora for black people, like the accents may be different, you know what I'm saying? But culturally, we're closer than people think. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like I could relate to American black people and their, the grandma with the Sunday dinners and all of that
mhm,
stuff. The food is different, but we get it. So let me just start there. But what is different is I didn't grow up with a lot of the technology that
mm,
you might have. Like we didn't have AC, still don't for real. It was just fans. We didn't have access to the same amount of clothing and supplies as everyone else. So we were kind of shorted, but it's not third world status. It's pretty much like we had our we had the same stuff, just not enough of it. If that
mm.
makes any sense, you know what I'm saying? Like you could go to the store and pick up what you seen on the TV. Nah, you like we couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think I grew up with a single parent in the hood, in the projects. Most of my life, I didn't actually get a house until I moved out on my own. So yeah, I came from the hood, and that's part of the reason why I joined the Navy.
Yeah, big facts. So, yeah, a lot of the stuff that you're talking about, I deal with in the military because when you're on a ship in the middle of nowhere, those supplies, of course, everybody looking for the next resupply, right? The RAS to hit.
Hmm.
You can see all that stuff that, oh, I need this, I need that. But until you get, and basically, I'm trying to relate it to being on an island, right? because you guys are not connected to mainland
True.
sources like we were. So it's real difficult once you get to that point where stuff starts to run low, and let's say there's bad weather or some type of inhibited to where the supplies can't come in a timely fashion. So everybody out there like, yeah, I gotta wait till the next shipment come in. So I can definitely understand that. Um, Waiting on mail call on a ship on deployment, tough time, man. Waiting on that
I think
Amazon
I
box.
think it was. I think it was a lot. That's a good comparison, actually, when I think about it, because we were on we were on that ship that should have been decommissioned 10 years before we got on there. You know what I'm
Look,
saying? So
look.
like shit was leaking, man. We couldn't get nothing we needed. The water tastes like jet fuel. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I
Shout out
I
John
I
F.
would say
Kennedy,
that
man. Yeah. Shout out JFK,
because
the
it.
original. They made
Hey,
another one, right? There's another one
what?
today right now. Yeah, yeah. It's a
They
pre-con, man.
cursed that motherfucker then. They cursed that.
Yeah, they said that thing was so nice they went back twice. They did another one. So I got
Damn.
people that stationed on the pre-commissioning unit right now, man. So that's
So
wild.
Jack
But yeah,
really back again.
yeah, the Jack is back, part two. You know what I'm saying? So I can't believe they made another one after that first one. But hopefully bigger and better this time. I was
I
actually
hope
on.
so.
Yeah, I was on a Ford. It's a Ford class now because the new carrier, the super carrier, the Ford, you got all kind of new
Mm.
technology and stuff. So they building it off of that model now. But we'll see how it go. Hopefully, it's a lot better than the first one. Um, but yeah, coming up in the VI, how was the schooling system you think compared to what you thought about in the States when it was time to go through middle and high school before you graduated?
So the schooling system was, as far as I'm concerned, our schooling system was really good. You know what I'm saying? When I came up, I learned VI history, I learned American history, and I learned Afro Caribbean history.
Mm,
So like just that alone, and when I got to high school, I took like trigonometry and calculus. So it was where it needed to be when I was going to school. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
just again the conditions. Like the
yeah.
conditions as far as like there was no AC. You open the window, otherwise you were just hot. You know
I
what I
couldn't
mean?
imagine. I couldn't imagine living with no AC. That just doesn't even resonate in my brain. I couldn't. I can't imagine, bro. No, man.
Go visit. Go visit.
Nah, I ain't going nowhere without no AC, dog. I can't do that. What you mean? I mean, what about the resorts? They got ACs in the resort I hope, bro. Like, nah, I can't
They
be out
they
there with no
do
AC.
at the resorts, yes, but it's like you know how you'd have like a window unit. So
Yeah, the little box in the joint. Yeah.
yeah, so they have like one step up where it's like a wall unit, right, for the room. So
Okay. One step up, you got a little
yeah,
ladder and shit.
you hey, don't do any heavy exercising. You good? Don't sweat too much of it. You good?
That's crazy, man. I mean, no disrespect, but I couldn't imagine living like that, dog. Like the way I've been raised, don't get me wrong. I was like low middle class. Moms did what she
Mm.
could. We was decent, but be coming in the house and not expecting the AC to be blowing is not something I was like, oh, okay, we're poor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy to me, dog.
Yeah. So when you were in the projects, yes, you did not have no AC units. You had your window and you had a fan. From my memory, I swear that thing was cooler back in my day. I don't. Now it's just hot, so I don't know what they doing.
Ain't no, ain't no
But
damn, ain't no damn
but the
way.
textbooks, I remember the textbooks were outdated, bad.
Yeah.
But the teachers did their thing. We all had our favorite teachers.
Hmm.
You had to walk everywhere. Like I don't. So what's different for sure is, I guess in the states, the public schools, they all wear like regular civilian clothes,
Yeah.
and then the private schools they dress in a uniform.
Yeah.
So it was flip flop for us.
Oh
So
wow.
if you went to a public school, you wore a uniform. If you went to a private school, you dressed regular in most of them.
Yeah, that's the difference in culture because it probably
Yeah.
mandate you do that because you are a little bit more high middle class, wealthier because you don't have to wear the uniform, right?
Yes. So
Yeah,
it has a lot to do with culture because they want you to conform in the public school. You know what I'm saying? They want to,
yeah,
hey, your hair needs to be like this. You need. So yeah.
yeah. And then you did that and went into the military and then hated it. I can't understand you, man. Why would you? Why would you go from that and then go to the military knowing that you hated that shit, right? But let's get into that. How did you get
All
recruited,
right.
right? How's the recruitment process in the VI, and how did you end up choosing your job in the Navy?
A large portion of my graduating class actually joined the military, like a large portion, because what they were offering. It wasn't quite as easy to recruit us as you may, as your story that you shared, but it was easy. Like our recruiters, I know they met their quota every damn month because we talked. He took us out to eat. Me and my mom. First he wooed my mom for real, for real.
Whoa,
He
whoa,
he
whoa, whoa!
called and talked
Easy.
to her
What you mean,
first.
woo? Wait a minute. Whoa.
Man, like he sold her on it first. Let me say that.
Oh, oh, okay,
He
okay, okay. I
sold
thought
her
you was
on the
yeah.
Navy first, right?
Okay,
And then
okay.
she started talking to me about it. And then he talked to me. And like we went out to eat. We just talked about what it was offering and all of that. And I knew at the time my mother couldn't afford to send me to college. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I was like, okay, so they're gonna pay me this, they're gonna give me a kicker, and all I gotta do is 4 years. 4 years ain't nothing. I get out, I go to school, right?
mm.
So another thing was I had an issue with authority, as he
No.
alluded to.
What? No. Not Dougie. No. I can never remember you having no problem with authority. My oh boy.
So yeah, so I always have bucked the system, and I was getting in trouble in school. I was getting in trouble where I was. Like my mom was, how that Fresh Prince, my mom got scared and sent him to the, you know what I'm saying? Like it was one of them. So instead of sending me to my auntie and uncle in Bel Air, she sent me to the Navy because and it was the best thing for me because I really needed to get out of there and I did want to travel. I wanted to see the world and stuff. So he sold me on that. He sold me on the college and it was good. Like I went into the DEP program a year before. I still was 17 when I graduated, and I
Yeah,
did not wait. My mother will tell you, like, summer wasn't even over. I was on a plane and gone. I
yeah,
couldn't wait.
yeah. Same for me,
So
dog. I was 17 in boot camp,
yeah,
bro. I turned 18 in boot camp. Mom signed that
yeah,
paperwork
yeah.
quick. Yeah, man.
hmm
Remember that?
She was reluctant actually. When it came down to it, she was reluctant, and I told her, you need to let me go.
Now my mom, boy, she's like, huh, when you leaving? Because the first thing she did was she packed that whole house. I'm talking about the day I left. She packed that whole house and was in Atlanta within a week. She couldn't wait for me
Dang.
to get up out of there, bro. I was just like, okay, I'll holler at your mom. She was like, all right, I'll see you later. I was like, damn, golly, mom, you ain't gonna miss me at all, huh? I was like, nah, it's time for you to
Damn.
go. I was like, all right, mom, I'll hold it down for you. But yeah, I can definitely understand that because coming in at 17, my summer was like
hmm
1 month of working at a overnight shift at a Kroger. I was out there like stacking boxes. I'm like, man, I need to hurry up and get out of here because I can't
Exactly.
imagine this being my life for the next, however many years until I quit this dead end job. So I'm kind of glad that recruiter walked up on me, man, because honestly, 23 years in the game, I couldn't tell you where I'd be if it wasn't for that recruiter walking up.
Exactly.
So, yeah, but let's talk about that first command, man. When you check in, it's me, you, Jack, Graves, the crew. You know what I'm saying? We checked on board JFK, man. How was that first tour for you on John F. Kennedy when we flew into Bahrain on deployment, man?
Well, let me backtrack a little bit before I go there.
All
So
right.
the the rebellion didn't stop when I joined, right?
No.
S- So so when I first I know I went in for the college money, right?
Right.
And my mother was like scared we gonna go to war, and I'm like I'm on a ship. Don't worry about no war. So
I left.
less
Yep.
than a
Already
month,
know. Already know what's happening.
less than a month. I joined at August 16th. September 11th happened.
September
Less than
11th.
a month into boot camp, they running in talking about we going to war. And I'm sitting down looking at these men like, I'm just here for the college money, bro. What are you talking about?
Nah, dog. Mm-mm.
So yeah, I knew then we would have to earn it. So after boot camp, A school, and A school was fun as hell. I
Oh
also
yeah.
got into trouble at A school. I got,
Man, we was at
got
A
into
school
trouble
at
at
the
A
same
school.
time. I don't remember seeing you there, dog, because I came in August 10th, so we had to be there same time. Because I remember
Yeah,
Jack in Graves, but I don't
well,
remember seeing.
no,
I
I
was
remember
on night shift.
seeing.
I think I was on like Bravo shift or something, like 2 to 10 or whatever the shit was. Because
Yeah, I was on
I
that
missed a
evening
lot of
shift
folks.
though.
Yeah, I was out
You
there
were
at
in another
nighttime.
class.
Yeah, I was in the class before. I think me and Jack were in the same class. I think he might have been in the
Yeah,
class with Graves or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
that's
But yeah.
right. Yeah, so I got into trouble there. Got put on restriction. Didn't follow the restriction rules. Got sent to the JFK, and we flew out there on a
Hmm.
what's that?
The card
Flew out
thing.
there on a 18-20 hour flight just to get to the
Yeah.
port before we
Oh
take
yeah,
the
yeah.
card.
Yeah. We was in
Man,
Jacksonville for a little while first. Yep.
yes. Didn't
Yeah.
know what the hell we were doing it because
No
nobody
clue.
was telling us nothing. Just
Nobody.
walking around.
We had no clue what was going on, man.
God.
Leadership was so
They just
trash.
gave you a mattress. They threw some blankets in that bitch and said, "You good? We'll
Yeah.
call you. Don't call us."
Yeah, man. That
So
shit was
that was my first introduction to the Navy, and then that card ride, like
yeah.
where every seat was like a jump seat.
Yeah, man.
And we flew out to an aircraft carrier, so it was exciting. It was scary as hell because they made a pass to land, and like they missed it the first time, so they had to turn around and try it again.
I don't
And
remember.
yo, my introduction to the JFK was crazy. So from there, I knew it was all downhill. And it was, it
Bro,
was.
I knew it was downhill when they put us in the berthing. Like, no disrespect, but I knew it was downhill when they put us in the berthing with the CS's, dog. I was like,
Yes, yes.
oh man. I say, man, we don't even get to go to
Down
the
to the
berthing when the
bottom of the
other
ship,
combat systems.
down to the bottom of the fucking hull.
I was like,
They sent
bro,
us. They quarantined us. Down
we down
now,
there
no
in the
lie.
fucking, oh man, the jungle, boy.
Hey, it was dope though. They were
No,
actually dope.
it was. That was my first burger. I'll never forget it. The CS slash supply burger, and I remember coming in the
Hmm.
chicken wings and the angle irons, bro. It's all kind of just sweet shit down there, bro. Because them boys they used to get it in down there, bro. You couldn't tell me
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
after hours, burning after dark spot. Everybody was in there, dog. Supply, AOs was in there, like everybody was in there, dog. So
But
it
it
was lit.
worked out for us so sweet because we had to connect with the cooks, we had to connect
Yeah,
with the shopkeepers. So
yeah,
when we wanted something, we could get it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
we wanted
yeah.
food after clothes, and that was dope if you ask me. Because when you're on a ship, it's kind of like you in jail. You gotta
Oh
make
no,
your
it's prison,
connections.
bro. I tell people this all the time, and I don't even be joking, dog. Being on a ship on deployment is prison. Like
It's
it's
true.
prison, dog. The only difference is we get paid, like because
Hmm.
you work every day, dog. You working every day. Ain't no days off. Like, and you out there humping, dog. Like, no, regardless if you sitting and watching the AC or if you out there, pulling line on the fucking, on a rise or something. You out there working, regardless of how strenuous it may be. So it kind of like it equates to anything I watch on TV, and I know that's not the real, but they take bits of the reality from prison, bro. That shit is like prison, dog. Like you waiting on mail and shit. Everybody's in your business. It's crazy, dog. Like
Yes.
it's nuts out there, bro. I wish that upon nobody.
Nah,
Got
you can't.
deployments later, dog.
You
I
can't
can't,
say that. You can't say that because
bro.
I'm a okay. We need to balance it out. Let me balance it out
Oh,
because
okay.
there
Go
were
ahead,
on the
then. You
ship.
got it, because I can't do it. Nah, dog.
On the ship, I loved it out there, but I hated it at the same time. There were all these moments where I was like, I need to get the fuck out of the Navy. And then there were those moments where I was like, I could do this in them. You know what I'm
Huh.
saying? Like,
Oh yeah, the port visit and the good times and the ice cream socials. Oh
exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I could
And
do this.
listen, every time I had to do PWP, I wanted to jump.
Oh my.
You
What? No,
hear me?
you
I
gotta tell
wanted
the
to.
people. You gotta tell the people what PWP is, dog. They don't know what that is, dog.
Whew, what you mean? I thought you had all.
No,
Okay.
no, no. But you got some folks who don't go to ships, man. So you gotta break that down and parade rest for them, dog.
All right. So if you were the lower person on the, if you were the lower person in your shop, they would have this work duty called PWP, plastic waste processing. I don't know how much I could say because it incriminates the Navy for real. But like,
No, man.
trash goes into the ocean, bro. Trash goes into the
It's
ocean.
a limit. It's a limit to where they can stop. You gotta have
Right.
a number. So it's all good. Yeah,
Right.
but go ahead. But go ahead. Break it down, man.
So the first time I was introduced to this thing, that shit reminded me of Freddy Krueger's lair. So you
Oh,
go down into this space, it's hot.
hot
It's
as
like
shit.
100 some degrees in that bitch.
Fella like burning.
And there's all you see is the walls, and then there's this machine, and it stinks. And like the plastic is melting around the machine, so it
Oh
looked
my
like blood and
god.
guts around the machine. And they show you how to do it, and then they leave.
They just
And you
go.
spend 12 hours doing that. Just putting the plastic in, squeezing it, throwing that bitch.
Yeah.
12
Yeah. Just
hours.
make it big hockey pucks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, just to
Yeah.
toss them bitches overboard. That
Oh
shit was
man.
hell.
Crazy, man. I remember
Listen,
when I got
when
in
I
trouble,
made
they sent me
E5,
down there. Oh
of
man.
course, of
Oh
course, if
man.
they don't like you,
Oh, you gone, bro. Hey, you on this PWP for the next 2 weeks, dog. We'll see you. We'll see you when you get back. I remember I went to Captain's Mass, bro. I was on that watch bill immediately. Like they couldn't
oof,
wait to throw me on
yeah,
that thing. I was like, bro, oh, not PWP, bro. Oh,
man,
it was so
I was on
embarrassing
it.
to be down there, dog. Like, oh man, it was just, oh man.
I don't even think any other CS people used to be doing that shit. I just think they were just mad
Nah,
at us for real. Like
nah, man.
Jesus.
I think it was an engineer like duty watch, whatever. Like they,
Hmm.
and then they had the people come and help them on that watch bill. Like it was a rotation, so like every 2 weeks it would swap out from what department or whatnot. So just lo and behold, as soon as I got in trouble, it was our turn. I'm like, damn, 2 weeks in
Yeah,
that thing,
yeah.
and then everybody dropped the trash off. So they're like, damn, dog, what you doing down here? Like I'm like, oh my god, dog.
Listen, and they wouldn't tell you anything. You just come to work, and everybody would be looking at you like, as soon as you come through,
That shit was the worst, man. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I remember when I made E5 and I knew they couldn't put me on that list anymore. And they first came around looking for people like Ingram will tell you. Because they were
No,
like,
no,
hey, we need
no.
somebody for PWP. And I sat back,
Not me.
y'all go ahead and fight it over.
Oh
Because
my
I ain't
god.
going.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, that was mess decks. What about the
speaking of
mess?
speaking of Ingram, dog. Hey, you know what I remember? That time that I can't remember, was it him who did it or got somebody got hit with that coffee pot? You remember that? You
Yes.
remember
He
that
got into
situation?
that
I
fight.
wasn't.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you see that firsthand?
I didn't watch it. I wasn't up there. I just
Oh
heard
man, I
about
was
it.
at Graves, man. Graves tell this story so good. So I think it was, man, I can't remember if it was Daly and Ingram or somebody else,
It
but
was
all I know is
Craig from ADP.
Craig, crazy Craig, right? And they had an argument, and I think Craig or Ingram hit somebody with a coffee pot across the head, bro. I was in that rolling, bro. Absolutely dying, bro. There's some good times on there though, man. But hey,
It got crazy.
after the Kennedy, what did you do, man? Did you get out right after that, or did you? What did you do after the Kennedy?
So what had happened was,
Oh,
I wasn't supposed to get out. I had already signed up to go to Bahrain, CCG6. All right.
Mm,
I had signed up to go to Bahrain, and I was going to a nice staff duty billet. Your boy was on his way.
right.
Right. I don't know who knows this story, but so I don't know if you remember that even then we were moving out of the berthing because the ship was in and out for 2 weeks and all of this other stuff, and like
Hmm.
we had the barge and all of that.
Yeah, the bar. I remember that.
Yeah. So you might not remember, but there used to be these big, heavy duty, huge brown paper bags.
Mm.
Right. So I put my clothes in them. I put all my stuff from my rack, and then they called us up to radio. Right. So I dumped all my shit in there, went up to radio. When I came back, they had
Back
swept
on.
clean the berthing, threw all my shit away. Right.
Yeah.
I go back and I tell IT1 Thompson, hey,
No.
this is what happened. You know, this motherfucker said I need to buy back all my uniforms by next Tuesday.
Throw Thompson. He was a savage, man.
Man. So of course I couldn't do it. So he threatened to send me the captain's mask. After after I told him that, right? He scheduled a uniform inspection.
That's Thompson for real. Yep.
And that was it for me. I was like, nah, man. Nah. I'm like, no, I just came and told you what happened. I know you do this. Like you want me to fail. I can't do the Navy no more. So I got out. Um, Even while I was in, I was trying to go to school, but that never worked out because like we were gone so much. It just
Oh
didn't
yeah.
work.
Yeah. I
So
ain't.
I just got me a job and kept getting other jobs and going back to school until I got to a good pay grade that I wanted. Now I'm working for the post office. It's pretty cool. I wish I got in when I had first got out
Yeah.
because, but yeah.
Yeah. It's all good, man. Hey, Thompson. I actually ran into Thompson. I want to say 4, 5 years ago. We were doing something, and his name came up. I was on my last ship, and I was like, "Man, that name sound real familiar." And he was like, Keith. I was like, oh, this is fucking he made Chief. I was like, oh, this is old Chief Thompson. He was like, yep, that's me. I was like, man, we fucking hated you, bro. He was like, yeah, I know. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
still hate that name. Hey, it's
hey,
still fuck you, Thompson. It's
hey,
still fuck
hey,
you. And it will always be.
hey, you remember Rich? Was Richardson still there? Oh, Rich was the good one.
When I
Him
left.
and
Yeah,
Wheeler.
Rich was a good one for the message center. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he got
Wheeler
that.
was a drunk one.
Yeah, he was DUI, but Wheeler was always DUI, but Rich ended up getting the DUI. How the hell did that happen? You feel me? Like
Man,
that shit hurt my heart when I heard he got that DUI, dog. Oh man, it hurt my
I wonder
heart,
what happened to him.
man. I
Because
hope
that
he,
derailed his thing, didn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, because he was gonna make Chief, man, because he was good, man. He did everything right because he was like, I had a couple drinks, I went to bed, I took a nap, and he woke up like what 5, 6 hours, I guess, whatever. Got on
Mm.
the road and he was like, I got pulled over and he was like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm good. They were like, hey sir, we smell alcohol. He was like, what?
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and like they gave him a sobriety joint and he popped. I was like, man, that's crazy, bro. But yeah, man. Long live the JFK, man. That was some good times, man. A lot of sea stories on there, man. I'll tell one about Graves because this is my favorite one. I don't know if you know about this one or not.
Hold on, hold on. Let it be about Graves, not about Graves telling a story about me.
No, no, no. It's definitely
All
about
right.
Graves. Definitely about
All
Graves.
right.
So along the lines of the brown paper bag story, right? So he gets one of these big brown industrial paper bags, right? And you got to take the track. We do burden cleaners, it was his turn to
Mm-hmm.
do burden cleaners. So Gray, let me say that Gray was the laziest dude I ever met in my life, right? Probably one of the laziest dudes ever, right? But we're gonna punctuate how lazy this dude is. This dude cleans the burden, right? And before he has to leave, they like, bro, you got to take out the trash. And he like, I got it. So if you walk off the ship, if you remember, the parking lot was to the left, but the trash bins was to the right. So you had to go out of your way to throw the trash away. So this dude is so lazy that instead of taking the trash out, he balls the trash. I'm talking about full of just nasty shit. Throws it on his rack, right? So he doesn't have to go out of his way to get to his car when he leaves the ship. He forgets about the trash because we in port at the time, so nobody's sleeping in the berthing, right? He forgets about the trash, bro. We go to the berthing a couple of days later, it had to be. We was like, bro, why does the fucking berthing smell like shit, bro? Like, it smell crazy in there. Bro, we go to his rack. He got the curtain closed. We open the curtains, bro. Big ass bag of trash. It just sitting in his rack, just rotting away, bro. I'm talking about old food decomposing. It's moldy and shit, right? So we were like, "Hey, Grace, come down to the burner right quick." He comes to the burner. He was like, "Oh shit, my bad. I forgot about that." We was like, "Hey, man, from now on, your name is Oscar the Grouch because don't nobody want to put no big bag of trash in their rack and then come back and sleep in it except you. Just like Oscar the Grouch, dog." So at that
Exactly.
point, we started calling him Oscar the Grouch, bro. That was crazy, man. I couldn't believe that dude, man. I need to get him on here,
Uh,
man, because he used to tell he used to do some of the dumbest things I ever seen, dog.
Yo, he used to want to fight everybody, and I never
Everybody.
understood that shit.
It's
I
that light
can't think
skin
of a
now, man.
fight that he won.
Light skin. He used
Like,
to
what
come
are
to
you
work with
doing?
black eyes like every week. I'm like, bro,
Uh-oh.
who you fighting? Who you fighting every week? We need to get him over
Uh,
here, dog. This dude, he's too light skinned to be fighting people, dog. That's
exactly. You
crazy, dog.
bruise too easy.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, but hey, it's been great catching up with you, man. This has been awesome, man. I could do this for hours. I love just recounting those like JFK stories, man. I wish we can get like a group of us together. I don't know where everybody at now. I think Hillary's like a commander now. Like I know he
Yeah, I've
going.
seen that.
Yeah, he big dog status. Who else is with us? I know Daly got out. Well, I don't know about Trotter. I know Ingram got out. There's a lot of OGs on there from that group, man. Oh, Cuddy. Yeah,
What
you ever
about
talk?
Gibson?
That's exactly what I was getting ready to talk about. Cuddy, man. You ever talk to Cuddy after that?
We just sent each other reels, but he's still there. I could talk to him.
Okay, okay.
He need
I
to
know,
get on it.
man.
Big pimping.
I know, man. You remember Hazel Baker? You remember Hazel Baker, right? The dude who was in
Which
he
one
was in
was
Tech
it?
Control when we first got there. Um, man, I can't.
What
He's
did
like,
they did not like him either?
no, no, no. We hated him.
Was it, which
We
one
all
was it?
hated him. He was a dick. We hated him. This dude was
Didn't
he was
Jack like want
unbearable.
to fight this man over sweeping one
Everybody,
time? Like,
I know Daly wanted to fight him. Graves wanted to fight him. Everybody wanted to fight him. We hated him, man. He was awful. But he's a big dog now, man. I think he went and he's like a CO somewhere, man, doing something. But
a
we hated him.
CEO.
CO. He is in charge of an entire command, dog. Like so.
That's
Hopefully,
wild.
people change, man. But back then, oh man, he was unbearable, man. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. But yeah, man. Yeah, but it's been real, man. But before we get up out of here, man, got the final five questions, man. Rapid fire. Gonna
Okay.
shoot some questions out and let us know what you think and how you feel about them, man. You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, man, what's the best advice you've been given, man?
The the best advice I was given to me. I can't even remember his name right now. He put me in the P ways for 12 straight hours waxing the floor. And when I got done, he told me, you know, Douglas, what you need to know is that nobody owes you anything. And that was the best advice that I ever got.
Yeah, big
Because it's
facts.
true.
What's the best thing about getting out of the military for you?
The best thing is that you could go without shaving.
Oh my God,
Uh, you can go without shaving. You can smoke when you want to. It's freeing. It's very freeing.
big facts. I never smoked, man. Never smoked a cigarette, nothing, man. So
Hey,
that's crazy.
listen, I started smoking cigarettes on deployment just to get a break. Them
That's
motherfuckers
the
be
only
getting
reason
them
you get the
long ass
break.
breaks.
Yeah, short
Exactly.
break. I'm like, bro, 20 minutes every hour you go, bro.
every
And then you
hour.
go to child, and then you got to smoke before child. You got to smoke after child. Like, bro, what about us non-smokers? We can't bring it.
But
So,
look who they
people
smoke
started
it with.
vaping.
They
Yeah, yeah.
smoke it with the supervisors and shit. So
Man,
they
the whole
asking them to
gang
come
up.
smoke.
Big facts, man. So people started vaping. I was like, okay, I can do the vape. Then they banned the vape on the ship. I'm like, bro, I can't win, bro.
Damn.
But yeah, man. What's the worst thing about getting out of the military before you retire? That is.
The worst thing would be the loss of that security, because if it's one thing the military gonna give you, it's a place to lay your head. They're gonna give you clothes, they're gonna give you money, they're gonna give you food. You know what I'm saying? That the loss of that security is like, and you lose medical care,
Mm.
you lose a lot. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, man. So, recently I just did an episode with my boy, and we talked about, big pay increases coming, but a lot of people in the military are like, oh man, we not getting no money for real. But all that stuff that you just brought out is something I was hitting on, but people don't put all that into the equation when they talk about getting out, man. So I'm glad you brought that up, man. For real, man. So
Yeah, because it's one thing when you're E nothing. It's another
yeah,
thing when you start getting BH. That's a
yeah,
pay jump. I don't give a damn what you say. And like the fact that you don't have to pay for medical care, you could go anytime you want, and that's a big deal. The fact that you get access to a gym, access to all these stuff, it makes a difference, because you don't notice it until you don't have it.
big facts, man. So I hope those people out there listening to that, man, because a lot of people just take that for granted, man. I'm gonna get out and make 3 times as much. Well, guess what? Your health insurance is gonna be 3 times as much too, and you ain't gonna get no
Exactly.
BAH, and all your money gonna get taxed. There ain't no extra incentives. There ain't no bonus pay. Ain't no free travel. You feel me? So yeah,
Hmm.
glad you brought all that up, man. But so on the JFK, I know you did at least 2 deployments, man. What was your favorite port visit?
My favorite port visit, the one that sticks out in my mind, was Marmaris, Turkey. And rest in peace, Jack, because me and him was always out and about. What sticks out in my mind about that port visit was that it was on the beach. So
Mm,
we hadn't really been to a beach on a deployment. It was all a sandbox. And then when we went there, there was this guy trying to get people to come to his bar. And back in them days, we had the CD cases. So
yeah,
me and Jack went back to the ship, got our CD cases, and the dude let us DJ like for the whole day. And people from the ship were coming, getting drinks. He was ecstatic. The owner of the bar was ecstatic. You hear me? And
yeah,
we really got to live a little dream in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like we were famous DJs that day. So
yeah.
it was cool.
Man, if you would have stayed in, man, everywhere I go overseas, they now is you just hook your iPod up and you play your Spotify and shit.
Yeah.
But it's the same, bro. Anytime I go anywhere, bro, if this it's like a hole in the wall, they'd be like, "Hey, man, you want to hook your iPod up?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Hmm.
bet, easy day, man." So yeah, that's like that everywhere, man. Hey, but what's the biggest difference between the civilian life and the military life? What do you think's the biggest difference?
I could tell my supervisors to go fuck themselves, pretty much.
You can do that in the
Like,
military too, but the consequences are
nah,
a little bit more.
exactly. Listen, I'm a
Yeah,
serial quitter. I like to quit because of feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you get me too riled up, I'm gonna leave and do
yeah,
something. You can't,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So again, it's the freedom. You know what I'm saying? The military comes with so many restrictions, and your life is not your own.
Nah, man. When you sign up, man, they got you, man. You government property,
Yeah,
man. That's one thing I can tell you. After 23 strong, I have no clue what that is, man. What the freedom look like? Like I said, it's prison, dog. Like I'm over exaggerating, but only by a little bit. Like only by a little bit. What I'm
yeah,
saying. But that's what I think about it every day. I'm just like, man, what is it like to get up and be like, you know what, this job is not for me. I ain't doing this no more. I'm gonna find another one. Just to have that flexibility.
exactly.
And so, I definitely feel you on that. Hey, but the bonus, man, throw a bonus one in there for you. You're from the VI, and I
Hmm.
know you just went home, right? You just recently went home and stuff, right? So,
Yeah.
I know you know the latest and greatest about your homeland, man. If you were the governor of the VI for a day, what's something you would implement or change for your home country, man?
This could be either wildly popular or wildly unpopular, but
Oh,
the biggest issue right now for me, in my mind, is people buying up the land and pricing out locals. So I would implement a you as a as an individual, you would need to be a resident with a driver's license or government issued ID for at least 3 to 5 years before you could purchase any land. As a business, you would need to employ at least 70% local Virgin Islanders.
no, that's dope, man. Because I saw an article like a year and some change ago. It's the same thing in the states, dog. You don't notice it as much because the land out here is, plentiful for, the
Yeah.
most part compared to an island country. But people are just buying homes, and guess what? They just throwing them on Airbnb, trying to
Hmm.
profit instead of, being a legitimate family buying single family homes. People are just buying homes in order to put them on the market and make them Airbnb. So I saw some government regulations starting to come out about that, so hopefully the VI can follow suit, and that could be something I
That's
know you advocate for.
I advocate for it now, but the problem is your largest detractors are usually the people you're fighting the hardest for. So it's one thing when you're a part of a continent like the United States is compared
Yeah,
to a self-contained pretty much island where the issue is more like Hawaii. Like
yeah,
Hawaiians right now, native Hawaiians are fighting to repatriate Hawaii because this it happened to them. They were priced out of their homeland, so they moved to Texas, so they moved to California, these other places that were less expensive, but they want to go home.
yeah.
And
No,
I,
that's a
I
huge
see
problem.
that as what's coming for the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's 100% right, man. The people who you gonna be fighting against are the people who trying to who are probably in government, and two making money
Hmm.
off of the business deals that are happening back door. So
Exactly.
man, you need to get into politics, Dougie. Like, you need to go ahead, go out there and run for
Eh,
some type of local official and work your way up, man. Did you see the debate? Like, dog, anybody can run for fucking president, bro. Like,
did you not hear that I have an issue with authority? Did you not
bro,
catch
that's the
that?
whole. But that's the key. If you are the number one authority figure, you don't have to worry about problem with authority. That's how it worked, Dougie.
They always answer to somebody. They always got a
Uh,
sponsor, bro. All them
yeah,
people get paid.
nah, I guess you're right. I can't really fight you on that, but I can tell you having less people to worry about to answer to is a lot better. I can tell you from being
No,
E
I
nothing
I
to this
agree.
point now, it is a lot better to
No,
have a
for
lot less
sure,
people
for
to
sure.
be accountable to.
When you higher up on the ladder, yes.
Yeah,
However, like I haven't had sponsors for my podcast, but now they're starting to pitch some stuff, and I'm in between because me, I'm grassroots. I want to be able to say what I want to say when I want to say it. I don't want to answer to nobody.
yeah.
But when you have sponsors,
Oh yeah.
that changes.
Well, I mean, you already know, man, the consequences of doing business, man. Like that's how I be. You wanna expand and blow up, you're gonna have to build some bridges, man. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, you might have to conform a little bit, not to your
See,
liking, but you gotta do what you gotta do to get your word out there, bro. I
you
mean,
see what happened last time.
no, yeah,
You see
yeah,
what
you
happened?
gotta, yeah, I feel you, man.
Exactly.
Hey man, but it's been real, man. I appreciate you coming through for me on your Saturday evening.
Of
I know you
course,
probably
it
had
was
to work
dope.
today, man. I really appreciate your time, and everybody go check out the Same Difference podcast, man. A lot of great topics on there. A lot of great guests from the homeland, from the VI, supporting Dougie out there. And I'm gonna have to actually come out there and visit one day, man. But I gotta go somewhere with an AC board. I can't do I can't
No,
do no box
we got
fan and open window, man. No sir.
you.
Hey,
No,
hey.
we got you. We got you. Let me know where you're going. Hey, also, I have my second live podcast show, Same Difference and Friends too, September
Oh, okay.
27th and 28th. If you want to come down, then I'll show you where the AC is.
Oh, okay, okay. I have to look at my skin and see if that's something that
Oh
can
yeah,
happen
yeah.
with the AC in September,
I know,
man.
I know you're busy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, it's been real, man. I appreciate you. And many blessings to you, and good luck with getting that podcast sponsored up. And hopefully, you can keep your word, without having to change nothing.
Exactly, for sure. I appreciate the
So,
opportunity. Thank you very much.
all right, we out. One MC. We out, baby.